I have my handy notepad and pen ready. I feel like an old teacher again because I got a red pen. So,
been there, done that.
exactly. my
People
kid.
don't realize how much nurses are teachers too.
Exactly. Aren't we though? We keep a pen everywhere. When my aunt, my husband's aunt was in the hospital a few weeks ago. She's actually in rehab now, doing really well. The doctors would come in or the nurse would come in and I'd have her chart pulled out because, they keep their chart at the end of the bed or, somewhere in the room. And I'd sit there and read it. And one of the doctors asked me, he said, do you know what you're looking at? I was like, yeah, I was a nurse for 7 years. And he's like, oh, do you need a new job? I was like, no. Because, I was trying to figure out what kind of stuff they were giving her and all, just being a nurse. Once you're a nurse, you're always a nurse. It never leaves. Or any kind of medical field practice. So, but yeah, it was just funny.
I was a charge nurse on or we called it ortho trauma.
Yep. I worked for gastroenterology. So I, dealt with all the insides, intestines and all that good stuff. So, I did have to do triage every once in a while. And then I worked in I did my, when I went back to get my recertification, I was at the hospital and I had to do the trauma, late trauma. And I was like, man, I don't want to ever do this again.
We also had an intermediate care facility for plastic surgery.
Of us here, so we should have a good class. I want all participation. If you're here for a reason, so if I don't know what your reason is, then I can't help you. So I want you to make sure that you ask your questions. If you're unclear on something, always let me know, and we will go over it. I don't care how many times we have to go over it until you understand it. We will. Our class is from 1 to 3, but I stay on here until I know that you're comfortable with whatever subject that brought you here. You can come to my class as often as possible on Saturday. I usually will let you know or let your instructor know in advance when we won't have class, unless Rory comes in, but we shouldn't have that problem anymore. He gave us our own site now for classes, so he won't be interfering in our class time. But other than that, we'll be here every Saturday going over anything that needs to be talked about. So I'm open for whoever has their first question or first item they want to discuss.
I have a question, Sheila.
Okay.
Okay, so when we do our featured image on our offer pages for our affiliates, specifically, I guess this would really be appropriate to ask for any affiliate, but specifically Valentis or Direct Sellers Wine Club. Is it okay to use an image as that featured image that's actually the product? Because I know we obviously changed the name of our title and focus keywords. We don't use either the Valentis name or the product name in those, either the focus key phrase or this title. So there's my question there. The image itself, can it be the featured image or should I stay away from that?
Yeah, on your feature image, it can be anything. As long as it fits the qualifications. I don't necessarily like to use featured images that has the product name in it for the simple fact that they will research that name and they'll leave my website. So you always want to make sure that when you do a feature image, let's see, I will show you one of mine. Like with me, when I do my feature images, I always use, let's see, here's one. I use my meme that I created. And that just helps me out a little bit better. And so, but, a lot of people, they haven't created a meme or, just use a different, let's see, we can look at this one. So this is one I did on my culture, on my Native American culture.
Awesome.
And so this is my featured image. Your featured image will always show up at the top of your page. And so that when they come up, but also the good thing about your featured image is that when you go in and look at it, that when you post it on social media or any kind of ad, that featured image is what pops up. So you don't necessarily have to put in a picture or an image. So if I posted this link on Facebook, this picture will be associated with my link. So that tells them immediately, okay, this is about Native American culture, or it has something to do with Indians, or it could be something about women, but it gives them kind of a clue about what I'm going to be talking about. So that's the other thing about your featured images, is that you want to make sure that it does relate to what your topic's about. I've had people put featured images in of cartoon characters, you know, just because it had a funny saying or cute saying on it, but it had nothing related to what their topic was about. Google will look at that also. If you're going for Google AdSense and you see a featured image like that and it has nothing related to your topic, they can call that as false advertising or misleading advertising, because you're featuring one particular item, but then they get to your article and it has nothing related at all to your feature image. So you want to be very cautious when you use an image as your feature, that it at least relates to what your topic is you're talking about in your article.
Okay, great. Right. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay. Next question.
Sheila, just a quick, it's Constance, sorry.
Yes, dear.
Let's say you're talking, you know, the story, blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I'm an old movie buff, and I want to tell them about a movie which relates to what I'm writing about. And then my link would be, I guess, to the movie thingy bobby. You know, I can't remember because I don't have it yet. But can I mention the title?
Yes.
How do I do that?
Yes. What you would do is, let me see which one that I have. I'm going to show you mine.
Okay. I didn't need it to be a long.
Oh no, you're fine, because I'm a big cartoon buff, and I did. Let's see. Where did I put it? Is it Arts and Entertainment? Right here. I did one on Bugs Bunny and Looney Tunes, Remember When. That's my title. And I actually went in, and I went into YouTube, and I pulled out, okay, this one I got to go back and fix. I pulled out clips from my favorite cartoons related to these characters, and I put it in my site. So, and I've done that several times. Like here, a lot of people don't realize that Coyote used to speak. This is the cartoon that actually shows why he doesn't speak anymore. Nobody realized that he used to speak when he was little. So I found that cartoon, and I put it in there. Why doesn't Coyote speak? Now you know why. You know, so you can go in, and all you have to do is, when you go, say you have a favorite picture. I actually have one of Marilyn Monroe on one of my, I'm trying to think which one I have it in there. Oh, on my Diamonds page. I actually have her singing Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend. I have that clip in there. I'm trying, where is it? I think it's in my wedding. My wedding stuff. Where's my wedding stuff? I have to find it. But that ain't it. It's on my Diamonds. I did a Diamonds page. I must not have it.
Right there at the bottom. Weddings, held.
Yeah, but this one was on Diamonds. I actually have a diamond collection. And I have her in there for Diamonds. Let's see. It might be here. I don't think it is, but let's double check. It doesn't hurt. I actually gave this to a friend of mine. He was talking to me the other day, and he's like, Sheila, I cannot find a diamond, you know, that I like for my girlfriend. And I was like, okay, here, I'm going to help you. And I gave him one of my business cards, because I have a new diamond company. This one right here, their wedding ring outlet. And you see rings from $10 a month. They actually have a payment plan. And I told him that. He's like, are you kidding me? I was like, yep. Payment plan. But say like if you type in YouTube, and so you can go in here to YouTube. Make sure we got, okay. And we're going to go right here to our YouTube, and say there's a particular movie or a clip you want to research. So y'all come in here and I'll type in diamonds are girls' best friend, and I want Marilyn Monroe. So there's Marilyn Monroe, and I don't want the whole show, and it's Gentleman Prefers Blonde. See, here's this right here. So I'll pull up this, and it will start. So there's, you know, wait a minute, you went too far. All right, so we're going to mute. So say I want to use this, so I'm going to right click, and it pulls up this code. And I can copy the URL where it's at, but I want this whole group, this whole thing. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds. So I'm going to click copy video URL. All right, and it copied it. Then I'm going to go back to my page, and I'm going to go to my wedding help. There we go. Search it. We're going to pull it up. Okay, and then I'm going to come here to edit. And I'm going to look through here once my page pulls up, and it's fairly simple to do. Okay, and this is in Classic because it's an old one of the first ones I've done. And I'm going to leave it in Classic because I'm going to come in here and edit this. I don't like these pictures the way they are, so I'm going to come in here and edit this. And let's come down here. We're talking about nights, honeymoons. So I'm going to come here and add a new block, and I'm going to do HTML code or video. So let's come to formatting. Nope, it's not formatting. Maybe it's uncommon. Video. So I'm going to pull up this video block, and I'm going to hit insert URL because I got the URL from YouTube, and I'm just going to apply. And there's my video, and I'm going to put and then I can link this to my the caption. I can link it to my diamond link, and then I will update, and then I can come down here and I'm going to make a classic block. Let's go back to formatting, classic block. Okay, so there's a paragraph I put that goes with this that tells them, hey, you got to have the ring, get the ring. Here's a great place. And most of the time, I don't even mention my affiliate when I'm writing. Very rarely do I mention it for the simple fact I want them to click my link to see where I'm taking them. Usually, if you put a name in there, they still have that tendency to go in and click a search to find that company, and then you could potentially lose out on a sale because then they'll buy from the website that they've searched instead of clicking your link. So I always try to stay away from mentioning my vendors unless it is direct sellers or Valentis, because usually when I'm doing that, I have it highlighted so they can click it. But for the most part, a lot of them, I just, this is a very old one. I really need to go in and update this. For most part, I will go back in, and just highlight the section that I want and put my vendor in. Then I will click on, my update. And then when you can go in there and you're like, okay, I want to see what my preview is. So I click on your preview and you can scroll down and you can see your video, and it will be there for them to look, and it will show exactly the way it's supposed to look like. And perfect. So then they click on that, and your video, it talks about diamonds, and they can have to unmute it. So, you can use videos as long as it doesn't have a watermark on it or it says that you cannot use it for publication. And usually when they don't want you to use a video, it will have a link in it that you can't copy the link and put it in there. The other thing is that once a video is taken down, like with my the one I have for my cartoons, that video has been removed, then wherever you have that video, it will come in as an invalid link. So I have to go in and check it and just put a different cartoon in there. But yeah, that's how you go into YouTube. And like I said, unless it specifically says that you can't use it in there, and it will tell you when you go to click on the link, it won't allow you to copy that link. So if you can't copy the link, then that means you cannot use that video. But anything else in there, you can use those videos and put on your page and link it, and that way you have another feature that people can watch based on what you're advertising. And then always put like a little caption under there for what you're advertising for. This one's talking about diamonds. I could actually put in their dresses because she's got on a beautiful gown. I could, if I was advertising gowns, I can do, diamonds and gowns, perfect function. If there was one where she was drinking wine, I could put, have a night on the town with diamonds, gowns, and wines, So it just depends on how you want to market it. But yes, use YouTube to help make your page different. Does that help, Miss Constance?
Yeah, sure. Do you know the name of that movie?
Gentlemen Prefer Blondes. Yes, I love Marilyn Monroe.
With Jane Russell.
Jane Russell. Mm-hmm.
Do you know she was like X-rated because she has such a bosom that yeah, so she was like, oh no, we can't take a close-up.
Yep, and you do know that she was actually a plus-size model.
Oh, you mean later on?
Later, well, no, today, in today's standards, she would be considered a plus-size model.
Yeah.
But she was a size 8 or 10, I believe. She wasn't petite.
Well, Howard Hawks really had a thing for her among his many.
She was a pinup girl too. So, but I love her. Both of those ladies, both of them. That's probably one of my most favorite movies right there.
It's a happy movie.
It is. It is. I also liked her in Rooster Cogburn. Was it? No, not her. What was that movie she played in? She was Western. She was in a Western movie.
That was like one of her first movies where she became really famous.
Yeah, but it's still funny to see here because her mannerisms was the same in the Western. I was like, you could tell you're a city girl. All right, next question.
Hi, Sheila.
Yes,
it's Laura.
Hey, Laura.
Hey, everybody. My question, it kind of revolves around strategy for affiliate offers as we continue to build our PBS.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine we want quite a variety of affiliate offers to add to our performance blogging system.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You do. And even though you have the three that Rory offers is the brunette marketing, the ClickBank, which has several different things on there. And then you have CJ. CJ has over, 2,000, 2,500 different clients in there. The other thing that you have to realize, though, is those are not the only markets that are available.
Okay.
You also have Rubicon, which is another advertising site. Let's see. You have Smart AV Ad is another affiliate marketing house. These are houses. You have, here's another one right here. G4 Offers is another one that you can use. It's an ad affiliate site like CJ. It's exactly like CJ, just has a different set of companies. You have Affiliates Fix, which is another marketing house that you can use. Then you have, hold on, let's see, Offer Vault. Offer Vault is a great company that has what I call CPA programs, where it's sort of like surveys, where they, sort of like our Response Magic. You ever get those surveys in your iPhone or your messages where it says, do you prefer Coke or Pepsi? Or do you like, what type of charcoal do you prefer? Or get $100 for filling out this survey, things like that.
Right.
These are Offer Vaults have a lot of those where you get paid $1 click. It's a click payment. So if they click on that and fill out that email information, they don't care if they do anything else but other than fill out that information. If they fill out the email part of it, or where it asks for their name, phone number, email address, and they click next, as soon as that's submitted, you get $1 or $50, $1.50, $2, whatever their click ratio is, just by them filling out that information.
That's wonderful.
Offer Vault has a bunch of those, but you need to make sure that you do, when you have that type of information, that you're not just building a whole website around that. That one click, that you do have other things in there. So when I do it, like with me, I did one of mine on parties. I can't remember which one it was. It was a party, and they had the, what was it? The Weber grill. I think Roy talks about it one time. They actually found that one with the Weber grill on here, and I was like, okay, you can't have an outdoor party without a grill, and so I put that link in there for them to fill out. I was like, here, you can win one here and be in time for the party, and they could go in there and click it. I got a bunch of money for that, but then it went away, so I had to go in and change it. It's actually still in draft now, but that's a good place to do things like that. Here's the other one is this one, RAKUTEN, Rukaten. They're actually marketing on TV. I saw one of their ads the other day looking for people to market with them. So, and they have places like, Lane Bryant is in there. A lot of those shops that you see at the mall, they're in this particular one right here. So there's several places to look for. And then if you have a favorite store that you shop with online, look down at the bottom in their site map and see if it says affiliates or referral program. And then try to get, usually if they have one, they're either already in a marketing house or they do it individually. So you can always apply for those like that and try to get, different affiliate programs into your website. But you want to give them as many options as you can. The other thing that I find a lot of people that they do is they only market one thing on one site, on one page. I like to have variety. I'm not saying that's wrong, but if you want people, like when you go to a store, you don't want to see the same thing on every aisle. And on every aisle, you want to see a little variety. It could be the same thing, but you got different brands of it, so you can price compare. So I do that same thing on a page. I might have 2 or 3 different options for people to shop for, and I always start with the highest price one first and give them options of the same or comparable products on the same page. Like with my vitamins page, I have, this company here is specifically for this product, but hey, if you don't like this company, I got this other company. I don't word it that way, but I kind of blend into the different ones so that they have an option to shop in my page, but shop different stores within my page. So it gives them, they don't leave when they say, oh, this is the same thing, this is the same company. They can click a different link every couple of paragraphs and it takes them to a different store and see price comparisons. But when I do with the wine, same thing with the wine, I don't advertise. I have several wine companies, but I don't mix them with DC. DC has its own thing. Valentis is its own thing. But now these other companies that I have that are wine affiliates, then I just do those. I can cross market with them. But Valentis and DC has their own page. I don't market anything with them unless it's directing it an internal link to either a trip, or relaxing in a tub, so that they can go to something else. But as far as another price comparison, those are the only two that I do not do that with.
Great. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, next question.
Sheila, remember you once talked about plugins? Me, I'm trying to
yes.
do a lot of studying with YOAST, and you said no.
Yeah,
so
no.
Just real quick, if you can.
Yeah. Plugins. Our system comes with the standard security plugins. That's why we got our system so cheap. I actually have another website that I do that I can put plugins in, and that cost me almost $800. But I have the option to put any plugin I want to put in there. Our system was $87.95 with tax. I don't even think it was tax. So you're limited to the plugins. The plugins that we can use are for security access only. When you get a company that says, add my plugin to your website, you might as well better not even worry about it. Because usually when companies want you to put a plugin into their site, that's so they can monitor your traffic and also have access to change their plugin so that they can track your customers or people that visit your site. So it's almost like it's not necessarily a virus so much as a malware for that plugin for your system. It also gives them access that they can go in and change your system without you knowing it. So we don't do those plugins, and there's a reason, and that's the reason for it. Number one, we didn't pay to have that type of system. Our system's not set up that way. And another thing is you don't want those plugins in your system because of that fact. Not all companies are reputable like that way. And a lot of them, they want to say, hey, okay, I want this plugin to verify that this is you. That's their thing that they use just as a doorway to get into your system. So if you have a company that you've applied for and they say, well, add this plugin to your system, then we can't even use it. Our systems just are not set up that way. Our system is built with secured plugins or plugins for our theme that we use that gets updated. That's the only thing that we have, and those are required by law for us to have for security measures. But anything other than that other companies want you to put in, we do not do those. Our systems just are not set up for it. We didn't pay for it.
I was just wondering, because I know you talked about it, I totally forgot.
Yeah, because I had, one company that we used to market for is Candy Lips. That's one of the things is they want you to put in an identifier plug-in so that they can identify that this is your website. Then they changed. That's probably one of the reasons Rory quit marketing with them is because they changed and wanted you to put that in there. But you can't. We just cannot. So that was the other thing. We also will have, we're like with Google, some of the Google things that we do, and Rory's working with Google because they changed theirs too, so that you can validate your website is they want you to put a plug-in in your header. Well, we don't have that access for our computer programming. Only the programmer has that access because there's a lot of people don't know enough about accessing programs that you can mess up and wipe out your whole website, and then you have to pay to get it rebuilt. So we don't have access to that function of our programming. So Google used to just let us put it in a widget, and then that would validate our website. Well, they changed it and wanted us to actually put it in a header, sort of like a programming. And so Rory's working with Google to try to get that fixed. Sometimes that is another key is they want you to do that. You still can't do it. It's still just like a plug-in, or they want you to change your programming code So things like that, when you hear keywords like that, whenever they ask you to validate your system, put this program in, put this in your header, then you just need to stop or get with the instructor and say, hey, they're wanting me to do this. Then your instructor will more likely tell you where you need to go and what you need to do to be able to fix it, or if it's not fixable, or if it's just something that we can't do. For the most part, I'm going to tell you we can't do. AdSense is the only one because we can actually put that in a widget and they can find it. But for the most part, if it doesn't find it with a widget added to your system, then we can't use it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, next. Do we have any technical questions? Or how to use your system, how to, if you want to add an image. I'm open to discuss anything. Next question. Did I lose you? Hello?
Hi, Sheila, we're here.
Okay, it's just really quiet. I'm listening for people. What about my new ones, Mr. Gerald, Miss Catherine? Y'all have any questions for me?
This is Catherine, and I'm just starting out.
Okay.
And I, for about the last couple of weeks, I've actually had my website. So I'm basically still at the beginning, and I'm still going through the training, and I continue to do it on a regular basis, and I find myself understanding more and more every time I, go through. So I keep telling myself, this is going to really click one day, and you're going to be good. The thing I'm working on now is I'm working on my home pages.
Okay.
And the first article, it was just in, the general thing of, welcome to our website, and, saying why it's good for you to be here. And I've already redone it about 3 or 4 times, because every time I redo it, I think it sounds better. So,
yep.
But on the home page, I have like 2 articles right there, and they both basically, I've already redone the first one, but they both basically just said the same thing. So I didn't know what to do with the second page, because it's saying the same thing as the first page. So
okay. Yeah. So what you can do, and a lot of people are not aware of this. So when you go to your website,
okay,
your home page is in a different category. It's not in your all pages. Your
right.
home page is actually under your post.
Right.
So you can go to your all post, and if you have one that's exactly the same, then you can go here and you can click on where you can do a quick edit, and you can put it in draft. So you can come here, and where it's got your published, and yours could be different depending on the size of your monitor. You just click on your publish, and you can put it in draft, and it will remove it off of your page. If it's an exact duplicate, then you can put it in draft, and then once it goes into draft, you have the option to put it in trash, and once it's in trash, then you can get rid of it altogether. But for the most part, like with mine, I have mine as a sticky, which means when you have a sticky, that means that no matter what you write as a new page, this is always going to be my first one. So that's the other thing you can do, is you can go in there and you can fix that to where that is your first page on your menu, always, no matter what you put in. But when you do a new post on your home page, is always going to be a post on your home page only. So you always have to be careful when you come up here and you're doing new, that if you do a post, remember it's going to show up on your home page. Page will be indexable, and it'll show out throughout your system. But so that's where you can go in and edit that, so that if you see one, like you said, that's a duplicate, then you can go in there and put it in draft, and it will remove it off of there.
Okay, so but if I wanted to just leave that page, I could just go in and just make it a whole new page. Just
yep.
Something altogether differently of my own, right?
Yep, you sure can. That's all you have to do.
Is 2 pages for that part enough, or should you put more pages on your?
If you're going to apply for Google AdSense, you need at least 3.
3.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you add a page?
Same thing. You see up here at new.
Okay.
And this will be on any page that you go to. When you go to new, it has the options to add post, media, which goes into your pictures and things, or pages. If you want to add it to your home page, you will click post.
Click post. All right, I got you.
Yep.
It'll just give me a new page right there.
Yep. And if you click on this, it'll automatically pull up a new page. And at the top of it, and this is why I always say be cautious, so at the top of it, it will say post. So when you're going up here and you look, you want to make sure that you read what it's saying. And it said add a new post. So that lets you know that you're doing a post, which means it's going to show up on your home page.
Right.
Now, if you're doing a page, it would say add new page would be here and not post. So
okay, I see where you're at now. It's saying add new post. Okay, I got you.
Yep. So that's why I want to make sure whenever you're adding something new, you always look up here to see if it's a post, which goes to your home page, or if it says page, which means it's going to consecutive pages after your home page, and it's indexable. Post will only show up on your home page. You cannot move them into categories.
Right. Okay.
Only those in your pages can you move those into your categories or put them in your menu structure.
Okay, I got you.
Okay?
Yeah, that's good. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, next. Anybody? How about Mr. Gerald? Anything? Are we going to have an early day today? All right, so what do y'all want me to talk about? Let's put it that way. Is there anything you want me to talk about?
YOAST.
Yes.
I mean, I can't seem to get enough of trying so hard to, I just don't want to wait till it turns green. I want to understand, what it is I'm not doing right. So, it's so boring.
No, okay, so we're going to look at this, and you see my readability is orange in this. And like I said, this is one of the first pages I wrote when I got my system. This is actually one of the pages that helped me get Google AdSense. And it was orange. I don't know if it got orange when I added this. I don't know. So what we're going to do is, and I got my keyword is wedding essentials. I'm not going to change that. So we're going to look at readability first. All right. So it's telling me off the bat, number one, I don't have enough transition words. And number two, my subheading, I have a text that's larger than 300 words. Everything else is in green, but the reason it's orange is I have these two major reds. So let's go up here and see if we can find that paragraph or that section that has more than 300 words.
All right, you went a little fast. Remember what I said about drop downs? For every single word, there's a drop down and then a drop down and then a...
Yeah, and it's big.
Click on that and okay, you were doing what, subheading?
Yeah, we're doing this like for subheading.
Click on it.
Now this one I don't need to click on because this is just telling me how. This link would tell me how to improve my readability with subheadings.
Right.
I don't need to click on that. I don't need to click on this. The only thing I need to click on, like with my transition words, if I want to see where my transition words are, I click on this I.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that will highlight all my transition words that are in here so far. But now these drop downs that you do not have to click on the drop downs, the SEO.
Yeah, but
now this right here has a drop down right here. So I'm going to click on this drop down and it's going to open up my SEO and it's going to tell me what's wrong. So this one, I don't know how I got approved for this. It says I don't even have a meta description. So you tell me that this must have been somebody. I must have had a really good Google guy. So when you open, usually if you've never been in your SEO before or your YOAST, all your drop downs will be closed. Okay, so when you pull it up, you'll see this more than likely. And so then you have to open it. Okay, then once you open it, I don't know why this thing will not go away. So then here's your drop downs. And so you will click on your drop down and it will tell you what's in your snippet preview. So here's this. I don't have a snippet preview, so I'm going to edit my snippet. Go ahead and edit right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this, well, I can't do that. I can't change my slug because that will change my link, and I have this page out there, so I'm not going to mess with that. So I am going to mess with this. Okay, so now I got that. And then what I can do is, and then I'm going to close my snippet editor. And then I'm going to come back here to my SEO and see what else is wrong. Says my title width is too short, which is fine. I'm not going to worry about the orange. I want to hit the red key phrase and title. So I don't have my key phrase and title. Keyword density, there's only one time, and I don't have a keyword in a subheading. So what I'm going to do is come back up here, start at the very beginning, and we can change this real easy. Perfect. Change that. And see, this is just a paragraph, so this isn't even, I'm going to put that into a heading 4. And I'm going to do wedding essentials and do party favors. It's easy to change. And we're going to add some color to this.
It's okay that you have that colon in there, because sometimes when I'm writing something, I guess I want it to be a little more drama, and I kind of go, you know, like, and wait till you see this. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, you want your page to have as much flair as you want, and you want it to be as different as you can get it. I'm just noticing that I thought these were headers and they're not. So that's probably why I had all those flags up. So
I just wasn't sure that that was like maybe I just
no, your punctuation.
Parentheses. If I put in parentheses, is that okay?
Yeah, anything you put in your header is fine.
But what if let's just say my story, and all of a sudden I go, and you know how I always change the subject, so speaking of, and then I go into a little thing. I mean, that's sort of my key thing, is that I change the subject a little bit, and then I would say, all right, now getting back to our original.
Okay, so you're putting like a story within a story.
Yeah, so, just a comment or something.
Yeah, that's fine. You just need to make sure that when you do that when you come back, you still need a header. So what I would do is, if you're putting that in like a sentence, I would go ahead and put the whole thing as a header to let them know you're going from one topic to a different topic. And then when you get back on point, put that as a header. Then that way you're breaking it up instead of having long sentences and a long paragraph with no break in them. So you can still have that. It's just like I'm doing here, like these are just paragraphs. It's just a paragraph. So if you have that type of sentence, then just highlight it and change it to a header. And you don't have to have it big. You can have it, as small as you want. Like if I wanted to put this in a block mode, and you can go over here and you can highlight it, and it will show over here and block, and it'll have header 1, header 2, header 3, header 4. So you can change your header size. And that way you're not changing your sentence or changing your storyline so much as breaking it up. It's still there. You're just breaking it up according to your YOAST so that you don't have a paragraph with 300 words in it.
Okay, I don't have 300. So, okay, wait. I'm talking about a story, and then all of a sudden I kind of go, and remember that da-da-da-da-da. Well, you know how I always change the subject. And, you know,
I have access to your website. Give me one of your pages, because I know you got one page we already did that's like that. Can you give me a reference, and I'll pull it up?
Oh, God, no. All right.
Yes.
All right. Wait a minute. Okay. How about Dad? Let me go to all pages.
Yeah, the one you did. Put it in the chat, and I'll copy it, and I'll go to it.
Hang on. I'm getting it. All right. Come on. Oh, close. All right. Hang on. All right. Where's my search? Oh, come on. What's the matter? Oh, do you want me to pull it up on your screen or my other one?
I want you to pull it on your screen and send me the link in the chat.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me minimize you, and okay, let me go here and let me pull up Chrome and dashboard. I was on my other computer.
Oh, no problem. I might still have it in our chat.
Pages. All right, let's see, search, okay, Dad. All right, come on, why aren't you doing this? Hang on 1 second. Search. Come on. Okay, all right. Okay, so I'm going to click on it, like the edit thing, and then I'm going to get a header like up there, like on the...
Well, what I want you to do is give me your permalink so I can pull yours up on my screen. We're going to use your page as an example today.
Oh, great. I don't even have my, because I changed it because my instructor didn't like that I didn't talk about. All right, at the very beginning I didn't put the picture. All right, blah, 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 blah. Why doesn't it have my New York City pictures in here? Oh, there they are. Okay.
So go to the site and get your permalink.
Okay, 4y75.com. Is that what you mean?
All right, so we got 4y75.com, and what comes after that?
/WP -admin /post .php ?
What's your page name?
Dad. Yeah.
Just Dad?
Yeah, Dad. Well, I changed it. Dad, hang on. What is it?
What does it say your permalink is up there?
Okay, you're losing me a little bit. I was just, that's not the permalink that I was just reading off to you?
I got it right here. Hold on.
Okay, a trip with Dad. I had changed it from Dad, me, and college. And my instructor said, well, you're not talking about college. I went, okay, we'll change it.
Do you have it in draft?
Oh, crap. Yes.
That's why I can't find it.
All right. Do you want me to publish? I can't publish.
No, you're fine. Was there another one that you had?
That I'm afraid to say most of them I haven't published.
I'm gonna spank you.
My Yoast, I'm just driving myself crazy with that. All right, so we can't do that one, right? Because it's not public.
Well, here's your post, your thing. Y'all looking for pages? Here's one of our students. Here's her page. And this is what she's talking about, is she has things like this all the time in hers.
Oh, I see. Okay. I'm still looking at my page. Okay.
Yeah, so this is you. And so this is her page, does different things. So I'm trying to see. So right here is you talking about things like that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. Oh, yes.
Yeah. So what you would do is when you would have this and say you're writing a paragraph and you have something similar to this, then what you would do is instead of this being in paragraph form, you would highlight it and change it into a header. You wouldn't need to change anything else. You would just highlight it and change it into a header, and then just come down and do a paragraph and continue what you were going to talk about. And when you get to the end and say, oh, and now back to what we were originally talking about, you would highlight that, change that into a header, and continue on.
Okay. All right. You lost me a little bit. All right. So can we go back? Look, I'm trying to move your screen.
All right. So I'm back on my screen.
Okay. All right. So, I guess I was trying to say where I talked. I just lost a little bit of the rhythm of, I was talking about Pi in the beginning and she's going to sleep. And then I go, what was I talking? So I guess what I'm asking is there was that whole highlighted thing. How much of that did you say it was okay to highlight even though, okay, what was I saying? This has nothing to do with my headings, all right? It doesn't relate to anything else. So how much of that did you say you wanted me to put in a heading?
If you had something that you were writing, say like with your dad, and you were talking about, and say, for instance, this was your key line to go to the next thing you were talking about. You changed your subject.
Yeah.
Highlight the whole thing and make it a header.
The whole thing there? The whole... Oh, all right.
Yeah, make it a header.
And then write about that.
And then write about that. And then when you get to the end of that, where you changed your topic and you're getting back on topic and you're like, oh, okay, now back to what we were originally talking about, then you will do the same thing, highlight that whole thing.
Okay.
And make it a header. You don't have to make it a really big header, like a number 2 header. You can make it a number 3 header, a number 4 header, as long as it says header. And if you want it to be the same consistency as your paragraph lettering, then you can make it that, just as long as it says heading on it. Then SEO and Yoast will say, oh, there's a header. They don't care what the sizing of the wording is, as long as it says header. So that it lets them know that you're breaking apart your different thought processes.
Okay. All right. I just lost the question.
So there's that. And we can, we'll set up a time, Ms. Constance, for us to go through and do that in a bit more detail too.
Okay. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
No problem. So this was telling me that I only have 2 of my pictures linked, so I got to go in and change those. Key phrases and slug, I'm not going to change that because I already have that link published and I already have it advertised. So if I go in and change my slug, it changed my link, and I don't want it to change my link because then it'll bring people to a broken page link, and I don't want to do that because I have too many ads out there for this. Okay, so it says use more key. So it's telling me that even though I have that key phrase, all right, so I'm going to put it in this one. This is a heading 3, so I'm going to put all right, so right here, I don't need to say see travel blog because I don't want them to go, I want them to click on there. So like I said, this is one of my first pages, so I've got a lot of work to do this one. And I got a lot more places that I can put in there. So there's that, and let's see, key phrase and more subheadings. So then if I update, so at least I got my SEO is in green right now. So right there, my key phrase density, I needed to use it one more time, and then that'll be good. These I can come back and change, but I'm in green. So then if I go to my readability, it's still telling me I got one section that is over 300 words that doesn't have a subheading. So we're going to go back in, and I know it's probably all these little things right here that is in paragraph that I need to make it a header. And we're going to do that. That should help that. In suits. I'm going to change that to a header. And you see, I'm trying to keep my wording the same size as it was before, so that doesn't really change anything about my overall aesthetics on my page. So this one's pretty big. And I'm going to put this one as a header. And yeah, this page needs some work, big time.
I think I'm getting, okay. I think I'm getting it.
Yeah.
By George, she's got it.
There you go. And it just takes, like I said, it just takes practice. So let's go and see if I got hold of all of those.
Okay, but remember you told me if the Yoast isn't good, I can't publish it?
No, the only time you cannot publish a page is if your Yoast is in red.
Yeah, that's what, yeah.
If it's in red, it doesn't mean you can't.
Red.
Yeah, if it's all in red, where I have green and orange, if it's all in red, it's not recommended that you publish it, but you can publish it. It just will not get picked up on Google, because Google will not publish anything, or they won't promote. That doesn't mean that you can't advertise it.
Okay.
But it won't be published on Google. You can't publish it. But now if you have red in here, but you still, your overall is okay, publish it. You can always come in and work on it. Like I said, mine was both orange and orange. As long as these are not both red.
Okay.
So, but if you have your overall, you know, orange, publish it and continue to work on it. At least you have your traffic, especially if you got your main objective done and your main ideas and your links in, and you just have to do, like this one is just basically a makeup on it, you know, tweaks here and there, but your overall content is good. Go ahead and publish your pages.
But I don't have links, and a lot I don't have links.
Yeah, but they're still good. It's content.
Okay.
Yeah. And you want your page, your blog system, your website, you want it mixed with not only advertising, which is direct advertising, which is like for our direct sellers. You know, we're directly advertising the wine club. With me, those are the only two that I do direct marketing for. The other things I write about is I write about my own personal experiences on things. Like with you writing about Pie Wacket, you know, things that you've experienced with her. So you write about what you know and use it as a feature or as a human interest piece, especially if you don't have any images. I mean, if you don't have any links to it, because you can always come back and put links in it. Your blog right now or your website right now, if you don't have links to it, use it as a blog system to get notification to your system. Let people know, hey, I got a new blog out there. I just wrote this new article on, you know, on blah, 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 blah. And let them come and read it and get them used to coming to your website so that when you do put your links in there, then they can shop it, but at least they know you're there. So if you have pages that are really good, that's letting people know about your interest, then put them out there and always come back later and put your links. Like that one I did on the cartoons, it sat on my system for about 4 or 5 weeks with no links in it. But it was a human interest piece, and I got like 1,400 hits, you know, in one day for people coming to it, reading about it, because they remembered it, watching, and they was like, oh, I remember that cartoon. How did you find it? Blah, 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 blah. You know, and like I said, it sat out there, I know, a good 4 or 5 weeks without me putting any links to it, because I, you know, just wanted people to be aware of what was going on with the cartoons. You know, they're not like they were when I grew up, you know, where they made you laugh no matter what. But now there's so much political innuendo in it, you know, you can't show them blowing out their brains because somebody did something stupid, you know, because you're going to cause kids to, you know, think they can commit suicide, make everything better, you know. Or, you know, the slapstick comedy. Oh, you can't show them hitting each other. You're going to make bullies, you know. So everything became so politically correct, or put some kind of political motivation agenda into the cartoons now. But I did come back later. And so now if you go and look at it, I have antique shops that's in there that I have approval for, you know, or like my Amazon, you can go and pick up Amazon, get these movies off of Amazon. You know, so I came back later and put my links in there for my affiliates. But there's several pages that I have that don't have links in it. They're just for human interest. This is just me. I just wanted to get my opinion out there or let you become aware of whatever. So that's perfectly fine for you to do. Just if you do happen to come across a link or an affiliate that works well with that page, use it. Especially if you've gotten good traffic coming to it, then use that link to not only get good traffic, but also monetize your page.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right.
By the way, when you just said Pie Wacket, she opened her eyes and looked towards.
Hey, Pie Wacket. So
then she stopped cleaning herself.
look, there you go.
Oh, God. She's too much.
Okay. So anything else? What else do we need to go over?
Yes, Sheila, it's Laura again.
Yes.
Hi. Kind of to add to what Constance was talking about with SEO, and then what you just shared also with the articles of interest that we should be adding onto our PBS system, whether they have links or don't have links at a later time. I understand that. Format, like, I know each page, the images are going to be different to make them custom, but should we try to have kind of like a look that's cohesive to our PBS, like a magazine would, or is that not necessary?
Not necessary, because if somebody looked at me and thought my page had a theme, they would never find one.
Okay, great.
So it's all about you. You want your whole website to represent you. Now, there's some people you can look at their website and go from page to page and say, oh, yeah, that's exactly who that is. Or they can read you based on that. My daughter, when she saw my website recently, she's like, Mom, I see you all over it, because I'm a collage. I don't fit in a box. I never have. The only one thing that you're going to see with my website is that you will see cartoons and just about everything, or some kind of reference, because I am a cartoon buff. Bugs Bunny, he's my theme.
Cool.
But as far as each page having a theme, no. But no, you don't have to do that. But as you can look at my wine pages. I have one wine lady that I use. She's my thank you. So if you go to my wine pages, you will see her in there. I use her actually when I fixed it like that, so that now every time I pull her up, she has at the bottom, it says, thank you for shopping my page. And you can fix that when you go into your media. You can have that to where you have one page, and I use her whenever I'm doing a direct link from one page to another. Let's see if she's in. This is one that I use. I have her at the bottom, especially if I'm linking a page, and I'll say, like, there's another video. I got to go and fix that. See, there she is.
Yes.
And so I use her. She's on anytime I'm going to direct, especially if I'm writing another page on something and I want them to go to my wine page, or if I reference my wine page, I'll use her. Because she's showing wine, she's classy, and then I already have this links. Thank you for stopping by, and it's linked to my direct sellers page, or I link it to whatever page I want them to go to. But I created this, and so it's standard, so that when I go to my media library and I pull her up, it's already here. This is already there. I already fixed it to where it has a caption on it. Same thing with a couple of my other ones. The captions are already there, and then all I have to do is link them. So I need to go in and fix this. There's different things that, if you want to make your page about a statement, you can. And then you just want to make sure that you follow that theme. But if you don't, because like, you see, I have some kind of cartoon in anywhere. But as far as making sure that your theme is cohesive and that they all have a certain format, the only thing that I can say is just make it about you. Don't be anything that you're not. If you put your heart and soul into your page and you write about what you know, then people will get a general feel of what your site's going to be about. They're going to know that it's going to be honest. It's going to be update. It's going to be heartfelt. They're not going to feel like they're being cheated, or that they're being swindled, or that they're being, led astray. They're going to get to know your pages based on your writing. So
Okay.
I always say, write about what you know. If you don't know it, research it to the point that you're comfortable that you can write whatever you researched into your own words. That's why it took me so long to do my own Bitcoin page, because I had to research it enough to where I could go in and write whatever that I've researched into my own words. And I just put my Bitcoin out a couple of months ago. I've been using the one that Rory and I had modified it, but it still wasn't mine. It was a few of my words, but it wasn't my thought process. The one that I have now, it's mine. And anybody that reads it, they know it's mine. And like I said, I created a meme. I like Mr. Bean, I don't know if y'all remember Mr. Bean, but I remember him. So I found this great picture of him, scratching his head, and I just put, on there, I've heard about Bitcoin, but don't know much about it. So I got a little quote there, and I use that in my advertising for my Bitcoin.
Awesome.
It's also my feature image. So perfect, and just different things. But this is mine based on my research. And here's a video I found on YouTube, Crypto for Dummies, learn it in 2 minutes, exactly what it is. This is another meme I've created, and all of my memes that I create has my link on it so that I can use them for advertising. Here's my logo, that tells them to come straight to my website. So there's different things. And then here's one I found, like I told y'all, use YouTube. This one here, all I wanted him to say was, show me the money. And that's all it says, show me the money. And I've linked it to Bitcoin. Show me the money, download here, and I'll show you the money. So it's all in how you process it and how you write it. And if you read my writing, you can see that I have a certain way that I write. And it's funny but informative. I try not to be too dry, because they can always go and read their own scientific whatever. But
Right.
I put my own flair to it. And then here's one, when you talk about internal links, I tell them, I actually have 2 on this page. Cash in your money and then go to vacation. Here's my Sephora link. And while you're on vacation, though, then enjoy your wine. And then there again, here's my lady. Thank you for stopping by. And now I get to mining, and they click on it and it goes straight to my computer link where they can go and start, download the Bitcoin. So there's different ways that you can incorporate your information, but you always, when you write, and this is what you can ask any of my students when I tell them when they're writing, write about what you know, include your pictures after you write, links should be last.
Okay.
Never write about a particular link unless it's something you know about, like wine. People that drink wine, they can write about wine all day and direct sellers all day. I don't drink wine. I have to listen to what other people say, listen to my customers, because I tell them whenever a new bottle of wine comes out, I was like, okay, you're getting a new bottle of wine. Let me know what it tastes like, what you put it with, so I can write about it. They'll give me notes on it. And I will write about, and I always say, well, my customer said this about this wine, and this is what they liked with it, when I do my advertising. But, stuff that I write about, if you read through my site, you can see it's stuff that I'm personally aware of. That's how I write. And then I come back and I was like, okay, I got a picture. Here's a great picture that goes with what I wrote. My links are always the last thing I put in. And if a page is good and I like it and I want to go ahead and get people aware of it, I will go ahead and post it. And like I said, I'll always come back and put a link, because I got enough links, affiliates, that I won't have to ever worry about running out, or I won't have a page that I write that I can't link something to it. Okay. So that's my thing on it. That's my advice to you, is don't try to say you got to put your website in a box and it only can be this way. Get out of your box, okay. Make it more you, expand your horizons. This is the place you can do it. If there's something you've always wanted to be interested in, or always wanted to learn about, this is the place to do it. Go research it, find out how you can do it, try it on your own, then come in and write a page on it. Different things like that, but expand your horizons and let people know. I have one student that he's learning right now on how to do something, and he's writing, basically journaling his process in his website. And it's amazing. He's doing a series on, and it's absolutely amazing. I told him I can't wait till he don't want to put little bits and pieces. He wants to wait till he gets finished it and then publish each page as he does it. So, but it's amazing that you can, do things like that, better yourself and show your process or progress as you go, and write a page on each milestone that you've passed. Because again, that's your human interest piece that you can have out there that relates to people. But then you also can come back in later after you've gone through your process, and you can link it to something. But people by then are aware of your site, and they will be shopping your site, and they're comfortable with enough with you that they'll trust that whatever you put out there, that you've done your homework on it, and you're not going to give them anything shoddy or that's not going to be worth their money.
Understood. Okay, great. And Sheila, is a follow-up question. I'm sorry, it's Laura again.
Go ahead.
It's a technical question. I know I'd mentioned this before, my Soap Creek page, and I thought it was because it was in Classic first, or it used to have a different focus keyword, and I changed the focus keyword. I have kind of a strange typing of the word aromatherapy, and it won't go away. No matter what I do, I can't click on it. I can't do anything with it. Do you think that might be a technical thing that I should maybe make the technical department aware of? Or
what I would do, it's usually a glitch from wherever it came from, or it could be a glitch in the coding. The best thing to do to get rid of it, especially if it's just that one thing that is really not a technical thing to deal with, Matt, is just create a new block and copy that information, or type it word for word, and then get rid of the old block.
Okay, great.
And then because usually what it is, and that's what I tell you, a lot of people don't understand. I'm going to do something here that this is why I want people to understand something. I'm going to go here and I'm going to click this edit page. Your whole page, because you are a computer, and computer works on code. I don't care what kind of computer system you have, what kind of computer you have, the whole computer works on code. This information that we see is visible for us to see in wording. This is your code. Your whole page is like this behind the scenes. And so what happens is, if I click on this page, and I go to my 3 dots, I can click here, and I can tell this to edit this as an HTML code. Because I'm familiar with HTML code, I can look in here and basically pick out and do anything I want to in this code. Your whole page is like this. This is what your computer sees. This is what it interprets. Now, the thing about it is sometimes when we see this, we only see the words. We don't see all this coding in here. So when we go in and modify certain things, and we backspace, if there's 2 spaces and we take a space out because we don't like the way it looks, it could be the potentially that we've changed the code because the code needed that space in there. So when we go back in and change it, then all of a sudden it's like, okay, something's not working. I can't do this. I can't do that. Then that's because we've changed this code inadvertently, but we don't know what we changed. And it can't be fixed unless you know how to go and read code. So I've seen people that they'll say, I've got a broken link, but I can't find it. Then it's because they've come in and they've changed this. They've taken everything out, but the code is still in there because you didn't go far enough or didn't get this code out. So the broken link is still in your page. It just can't be seen visibly because we've changed it from HTML to what we can physically see. So when you have that situation, the best thing to do is just open up a new block above whatever it is that you want to change or that can't be fixed, and just do a basic, either classic. I always say change it in classic. Go into your classic and type exactly what is in here, and then go back and delete the old one, and that usually will fix it, because then it will delete not only the box but all the coding within that box. But then you have your new information up there.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Okay. All right, so see, then I'm just going to go back and put this visual, and it shows me everything that I need to see. But that's the one thing about your system, is that it has it so that we can visually see what we're writing. But the computer interprets it as this. So every word that we write gets interpreted like this to the computer. So even though we might go in and modify and change something, depending on what that code is, you know, you might not have gotten everything out of the code and it's still got partial of code in there or whatever. The computer will leave it in there until you delete it. So if you have an issue with the block, then open up a new block, manually type it in. I always say use it in a classic block because then you can have more freeway ability to change it however you need to. And then get rid of the old one. Then that way it gets rid of all the old coding plus the wording, and you just starting fresh, and you will get rid of a lot of those glitches.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Okay. You're very welcome. Okay. Anything else? Any questions on anything that we've gone over? Anything you want to see? I'm open for suggestions. We got about 30 minutes. Nothing? Go ahead.
Okay. I know you've told us 1,000 times. When you said, and you can see how many hits you got, you know, on a particular story, article, whatever, where do we go to find that again?
Oh, the only way you can tell on how often your page has been clicked is if you have Google AdSense.
Oh, okay.
It actually tells you each page that's been clicked, or if you've advertised. Like we'll go check on my classifieds for free, and it will tell you how many times your ad's been viewed. And if you have the like on my AbleWise, every month, or I mean every week, it will tell me how many times my ad's been clicked. But unless you actually have Google AdSense or Google Analytics, it won't tell you. That's the only place that tells you how many times your ad's been clicked. If you haven't been publishing your pages and haven't been advertising, I promise you're probably going to get less than 5 clicks on your whole website because you're new. So you need to advertise and publish your pages and advertise. You cannot advertise a draft page. It'll come up as a blank, as a invalid link, page not found. So publish your pages and then advertise them. Go to your free ad sites and advertise them. Go to your Grambler and advertise. This classifies as free has been acting weird all week. Just like Grambler, I set up, I've actually started doing this on Monday nights. I did it this past Monday. I went to my Grambler and I scheduled my ads to go out for this week. I did 2 a day. I did 1 in the mornings, 1 in the evenings, and I scheduled it for every day except for today. And it's wonderful because now I didn't have to go back in and go into Grambler every day and, you know, put in my information for, why hasn't it let me log in? All fields must be done. I did. Oh, and I had to change this. I hope I remember it. Hold on. But that's another option is if y'all don't have this program, you need to get it. It works wonderful.
I do have it. Yeah.
And especially, yeah, with Instagram, you know, it's just great. And like I said, you can go in and schedule. Let's see. Okay, I had to find my key password program. So I can remember what my password is. Let's see if that works. It is filled out. Are we going to be this way again? Oh. So, that's Instagram. That's right. Oh, come on. If I can spell. All right, it's not going to let me get in there. I got to figure out what's the matter with it. I had to change it, but I thought I changed it and everything, so apparently I didn't. But you can go into Grambler, and after you create your ad, you can go in there and it will say publish immediately, or then it will allow you to schedule your publishing. And so once you schedule it, then it will allow you to set a date and a time. And once you set that date and time, then you can go in and, you know, set your date and time, and it will publish it, and you won't have to worry about it. And it will publish exactly what you got.
Can you do that on a repeated basis, or?
Yeah, I will do, I will go into my Canva and I will pull up my pictures, and well, most of them already got my logos done. So I will go into my pictures, my blogging pictures, and I will go into my logos that I've created. And I will just find one, and then I'll pull up my ad document. This is my new document that I've started. And I want to do one that Kathy had put out. I haven't done that one yet.
Oh, Kathy Baxter?
Yeah, the one that she put out on this one on social media. I'm going to modify it. It's her wine advertisement. And this is what she put out. Says, hey, I would like to give you a coupon for VIP membership. She has 25 to give away. Depending on what brand partner you got in, you get 10 or 25. She has 25. I have 25. Says and they're $25 each. And she says she's gotten so many hits off of this. And so she shared it in, I think she put it in A-Team. It's either A-Team or Goya. So she put this in there. So I'm going to modify it a little bit, and I'm going to put it in my Instagram, and I'm going to actually use my logo, my wine logo that I created the other day, or a couple of weeks ago, which I think is really cute because it puts people on point. So I'm going to use this logo. With that, as soon as I get it modified, it's so big it takes it a while to pull up. And I actually, on my Canva, I did this one for Instagram photos specifically, so it meets all the requirements for Instagram. Also meets the requirements for Facebook. So I'm going to say, show some class, style, and sophistication. Join our wine club. So it's basically calling them out. And like I said, I always have some classy people here. Then I got my glass of wine that says join today. And then here's the link for my Fine Wines page, business opportunity. So they can go there and sign up. And then I'm going to modify that saying she has that advertisement to fit more to me. I'll probably get rid of these emojis that she has and make it a little cleaner. Might put a little bit more stuff in there. So I just, depends. I might just put it out there exactly like she's got it. I'm not sure yet, but she says she's gotten a lot of hits off of it, and that would be great to put in there. I just got to figure out how to get my Grammarly, because I'd like to show y'all how to do that today. So let's see if I can get that in there.
I would like that too.
I know. Is that Miss Estelle?
Yes, I'm back.
Are they finished?
Yes, they are.
I was listening to it before I got in.
Yes, and I saw you had to leave to go to this class.
Yeah.
And you know what they're doing? I don't know if you might already be aware of this, but starting next week, after the instructor meeting, they're going to have Debbie Lizzie do her training class for the priority calls.
Uh-huh.
So that's something new they're doing too.
Okay. Yeah, I'm have to get in there with Debbie. So I can't remember which email I signed up with on my Instagram. It's telling me it doesn't like it, and I don't want it to lock me out. Because you know wine, you want to make sure your wine, all right, let's do this. It says you can now log in using your new password. What did I put? I thought that's why I did that, so I wouldn't have to do it.
Oh, boy.
So, see, there's my money. That's why I'll make sure I get my money. Gotta get my money. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on here. I've started back recording. Y'all see the recording, right? All right. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab that photo. And get this one right here. And save that.
I really like that one.
Yeah, hit continue. And then my caption, I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to grab this ad. And let's get my punctuation correct. And I'm going to copy all of this.
That's all going to go on the card? I mean, on the...
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
So then I'm going to come back to my Grambler. And I want to put Canada. Okay. That. And I'm going to put my name. Okay, and then here I'm going to put some hashtags. Okay, and then right here you see it says immediately. Now I can send this out immediately, but since it's only $2.50, I don't want to be advertising wine that early. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to put some other time, and then it gives me this drop down box and asks me what time do I want to send it out. So I'm going to put my calendar.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Exactly. So I want to leave it for today, and then I want to change it from, let's see, 12, so that's 4, 5, 7. 7. So I'm a 7:30. So at 7:30, this is going to go out. So it's intervals. And then I'm going to hit send. And it says it's been scheduled for 7:03 on July 30th. So then I'm going to come here, and I want to do another one. I said upload now, and I grabbed another picture. And I want to do one for Bitcoin. I haven't done one for Bitcoin in a while. And I'll click on that. I'm going to hit continue. And then I'm going to go to my ad site and grab one for Bitcoin. Copy. Go back to my Grambler. Paste. All right, this one doesn't have a link in it, so I got to go back and grab my link. Got to fix that later. Right, I need another template. I'll grab this one. And we'll grab that one template real quick. Do I have too much going on? That's the one I want. Come on. Okay. And then we're going to get to Bitcoin. There's the one I want. I got to go fix that one. I actually have 3 different pages of ads now, so I'm having to go back and forth and find out where the one is I want. I got to reorganize them all. Okay, there's one. That's the one I want right there. Actually, let's do all of this. And then go back to here. Paste. There we go. So this one, I want to go ahead and do it now. I can do it now, but let's go ahead and do it for the future. We're still going to do it for today, but let's do it for 4:30, 4:50. And then I'm going to hit send. So now that one's scheduled for 4:51 to go out today. So that's how I schedule it. So if you already have your templates, that's why I say templates are very important when you're sitting down to advertise. You just copy your template that already has your link in it. You have your picture already ready that you can do and go for it. You know, just hit upload. I can do another one real quick that I'm going to send out now. Let's see. Let's do Sephora. Do this one. And we're going to click save. I'm going to click continue. And then I'm going to pull up my link. Did this one. Where are you? And paste there. And here I'm going to put some hashtags. I forgot to put my hashtags on my other ones. I'm going to put vacation ideas, summer fun, beach life, mountain retreat, tanning babe. All right, and then we're going to hit send. All right, so it told me it's sent. Now here I have the option. It says I've gained enough likes from my previous ones that it gives me the option to do 30 more. So I'm going to set yes, I want those 30 additional likes. If you are on Rory's meme program, you do not want to do that because that will interfere into whatever programming he's doing. And then here it says submit for ratings. So I'm going to say yes. And then it will ask me, you know, how many people I want it to go to. And that's what these token coins are great for. So I want it to go to 500 additional people that I do not currently know. So I'm going to save it for here. It tells me how many tokens it's going to take. So that's 5,000 tokens. I don't click this one. I don't care where they are. I want it to go everywhere. So then I hit add likes. And it will send it to 500 additional people that have not previously seen my website or seen my Instagram photo. So once that counts down, and already I'm starting to get people come through that says they like my photo. So then that's ready to go. And then at 4:30, my other one will go out. So it's got a countdown right here of when my next one's going to go out. So it will count down each time to tell me when all of them's gone out. And then I can look at my schedule here, and it tells me that my computer has to be on. So you need to make sure that whenever you do schedule that your computer is on, that it's not shut down, because you did link it through Grambler. So your computer has to be on those times that you sent those, or you want those to go out. So there it is. And it tells me there's my schedule for my memes to go out and for my ads to go out. So that's perfect. The one thing I didn't do with this one is I didn't put my link in there. So let's see if I can go in and edit that. Yep. So I'm going to go in here. I got to get my wine link. So let's go here and get my wine link. I just noticed that. And I want them to go to my wine opportunities page. No, not the Canadian Wine Club. this one. So I'm going to put this here. Copy. So you do have the option to edit. So I'm going to type it here, paste. Let's put some space in between here. And then save. So now it's saved with my link, Fine Wines Business Opportunity, which is the same thing as in here. So good. So now I got my link in there. I just want to make sure that everything had a link. It's got a link. So now we're good to go. So now my schedule's all set. My links are put in, and my Grambler page is ready to go. So now I'll sit down and do some more templates today. Probably create some more memes today. And then Monday, probably before we get on our instructor call, or Monday afternoon in between calling people, I'll create some more templates and make some more memes, and then I'll schedule those to go out this week too. And then that way my Instagram is taken care of for the week, as far as, advertising. Facebook, you can't do that. Well, you probably can. I just haven't looked at it enough, but I'm on Facebook every day anyway. The same thing with, you want to make sure that you're on those free ad sites, advertising. Same thing with your AbleWise, free, it classifies for free. All the other free ad sites that you use or have access to, that you want to make sure you get on there and advertise every day. You want to make sure you're doing something every day in your website, either modifying, adding new pages, advertising. Advertising is something in addition to. I've had students that come in and just like, well, I advertised in my website all day today. Okay, well, what else did you do? So you want to make sure that you're not only working in your website on a daily basis, but you're advertising. You want to get as many ads out there and as many sites and as many eyes as you can, because that's the only way you're going to generate traffic. And that's the only way Google's going to notice you and move you up through the ranks. If you don't advertise, then your site's going to sit wherever Google puts it at as a new website. It's not going to move. So you need to make sure that you are getting out there. You get those keywords changed. You get the good keywords in there, and you get that advertising so that Google sees your numbers climbing and they move you up through the ranks so that you get indexed better. So that's the only thing I have. If there's any questions, please let me know. I know there's some new people on here that I haven't heard from, so please let me know what you need so I can help you out. We will be here next week, as far as I know. The only week that I know so far that we will not be here is the week of the 15th. I'll be in Dallas, and I will not be conducting a class that day. I'll be at DC meeting. So, but other than that, we'll be here, bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. So we got any more questions before we call it a day? Anybody? Everybody good? Anything you want me to go over or that I haven't covered or need a refresher on anything? Nope.
No.
All right.
Well, Sheila,
Yeah.
one thing, for, again, and I know you've gone over this, not really into social media, but some rules of thumb with Facebook. I believe you said, don't make it, even if you created that business page, you said don't make it, like you're selling stuff all the time. You kind of
in your business, when you're going to your Facebook, if you have a business page, yes, you can mark it in there all day. Yeah, if you've created a business page, not a business site. Business sites, they charge you for it. So you want to make sure that you have a personal Facebook page and you create a new page that you use strictly for advertising. And so what you can do is when you come to your Facebook, this is one I posted the other day for all of my vegan family, friends, vegetarians, and people that are looking for more ecological type foods. That's when I was at my biggest. Y'all see me when I tell y'all I was in I'm doing Valentis I was almost 300 pounds there. So I'm down to 214 now. So
Oh, good for you.
yeah.
Right.
So
And
Valentis.
Valentis did that?
Valentis. That's all I'm doing is Valentis. I'm actually going to have to start doing some type of weight training now because I'm getting saggy skin. Even though I have some good elasticity still, it's not tight toning up. So I got to do some toning exercises soon. But my face, I can really tell it. My face, my clothes, even my shoes. I have shoes.
All those shoes you have.
I know they're too big. They're flopping. I had to go up a size because my feet were so swollen and big, and now I can't wear them. They just flop. They're too big. So it's a good thing, but I'm not getting rid of my shoes. Oh, I told my husband I ain't getting rid of my shoes. But
you put an instep or something into
yeah,
them.
no, they're too wide.
Oh.
Yeah, they're just too big all over. Because I usually wear an 8, and I've been wearing 9s for forever, the last few years, because my feet were just so swollen. And it's hard finding a wide shoe that you're not paying a fortune for.
I wear size 9.
Did you not just hear me say I'm not getting rid of my shoes?
No, I just want to let you know.
10.
So, but next. But when you come to your website, to your Facebook page, you go to your home page and you see where it says pages. And as soon as you click on pages, you get the option to create, which is right up here. So you can create a new page. And then you can name it whatever you want to name it. It says create a page, and you can name your page whatever you want to. And then from there, you can add it. And see, and I haven't been on mine forever because I've been doing other things. So this one's kind of gotten by the wayside. The good thing about it is that I've invited all the people from here that have not been too weird. I've invited them to my personal page so that they still see all my stuff, but I still need to come in here and play with this some more. But you can create a page and then you can advertise, but on here, just do your memes, your advertising. But what you got to remember though, is you still need to invite people there if you want to. But when you create a Facebook page for advertising, then that should be the page that you use in your website. That you want people to come to, or if you say, go check me out on my Facebook page, then that's where you want to make sure you send them to, if that's where you want them to go. If you want them to go to your personal Facebook page, then send them to your personal Facebook page. And then you can invite them to see, your business page. So however you want to work that. The other thing is you don't want to advertise what I call nighttime ads during the day, which would be like your wine, or your, like with me, I have a wine romance page. I don't want to do anything with romance, personal lifestyles and stuff like that during the day. That's stuff people look for at nighttime or at late evenings. So that's sort of the protocols you want to do. Coffee, you can do your coffee, you can do your exercise, your clothing, your travel anytime during the day. But you want to make sure that anything that you're advertising is appropriate. It's done tastefully. You don't, and the other thing is if you're doing, ads for some of the products that we have and companies that we have that cater to romance and different types of lifestyle, that you do it with a certain type of decorum. The other thing is that when you do come to your Facebook on your homepage, look here where it has the different groups that you can join and search those groups, because you can actually join a group that has stuff that's in there. The one thing that I did was I joined a couple of marriage groups. One of them I actually had to get out of because it was not marriage. All they did was defame and talk about their spouses, when different. So I finally had to get out of it. But like this one, you should look for this where it says promote your brand. I go on there about once a week, and I promote my, whatever I want to promote that week. And you can go in there and advertise whatever you want to advertise. So the good thing that I speak, since I'm on here, let me go ahead and do that now. I'm going to put that out there. Where is it at? Is this it? I'm going to put that out there right now. That one that she sent. Put this here. Paste. Is that it? Yep. I'm just go ahead and make it mine right now. All right. And let's copy this. Oh, I'm going to put. And what they do is they will look at it first, make sure it follows their protocol. And then they will send you a little message that's saying, hey, your ad's been approved. And then they will publish it throughout their system to all their members. So copy. And then paste. And it will only go to this group. All right. And see, I'm going to go in and change that. That's because I haven't set a feature for this one, or the feature I've set does not meet Facebook's qualifications. So I want to take this picture out, and I want to add a photo. And I'm going to do that wine photo. This one. And then I'm going to post. So it says it's been submitted pending approval. So once it gets approval, they'll actually send me a text saying that it's been approved, and it will show. This is where you go, and I've never had one to where they didn't approve my things, but this is all people that are marketing different things. So you need to check and see if you have this group in your Facebook programs that you are on. But go in there and search the different groups and see which ones that you can advertise, which ones, are for new businesses, different things that are in there. See if there's one that relates to a hobby that you're doing, or create one. If you have an idea that you can create your own group. People search for groups all the time, and go in there, and you'll be surprised how many people will come in and say, hey, can I join your group? But make sure when you create your own group that you have a good description of what your group's for, and certain guidelines that you want to meet. And then you, by being administrator, have the option to approve or reject anybody that submits to get on your site. But that's another way that you can advertise. By you being the administrator, you can put whatever you want to on there, and then everybody in your group will get to see it. So there's different things that you can do in Facebook. Same thing with the Bitcoin. Bitcoin, they just now released that you can advertise Bitcoin on Facebook. But you still have to be careful on how you advertise it with the computer and information like that. Same thing with the LinkedIn. LinkedIn's a really good place to do advertising if you have a LinkedIn account. If you don't, create one. Once you create one with all of your profiles on there, you will get invitations for all kind of stuff, especially people that are looking for people to hire. They will give you friend requests and stuff like that. But just use all the things at your disposal to get your site recognized. You can even advertise on Craigslist, different things. The marketplace right here is a good place to advertise your website or things that you want to do. There's travel groups that you can advertise and travel. So there's several different things that you can do in your Facebook or in your ad sites or your social media that will help get your website noticed.
And how do you get your Facebook business name to put on your website?
Oh, when you go to create it.
Okay.
All right. So when you go when you create your page, you go and create a new page, then you name it. Mm-hmm. Whatever you want to do, it's going to tell you if it's a business or brand, community or public figure. Yours is always going to be a business or brand. or however you want to label yourself. And then you will put your information in there. As you create it, it will actually give you a link. So like if I go to here, my Shop with Mama Chief, there's my link right there at the top. So if you look up here in your search bar, there's your link, and that's what you post into your website. When it says connect with me on Facebook, then this will be your link that you would have, and it brings them to this site only.
Okay.
All right. So, and if I go to my personal website, you see it's different. The link up here is different. So each page you create, just like with our website, each page you create as a business has its own link. So when people click that link, that's the page that they will go to sign up, to join, or be your friend on Facebook.
Okay.
And you can name it, because as you can see mine, when I go to my page, you can see that it has nothing there with me. It's got my Native American profile. It's got my Shop with Mama Chief. And it's got my Indian Pride 1 as my name. So as my username, there's nothing here indicating me personally. So that's the good thing about it is that when they come here, this is what they see. Is they see this. They don't see your personal stuff. Now you can invite people to come into your personal information if you want to. Like I said, most of the people that are here, I know that's come in. There's a few that I don't. Those I did not invite to go over, but I have roughly about 138, 140 people that are here that I advertise to. And this is all I do. You can see through here. Every once in a while I put something in here, but for the most part, it's just mostly like this one has reached 20 people. It tells me how many people it's reached. So there's 15 people, but this is just people in my group. And that's all I do is just advertise. You see, it's just strictly advertising on here. That's all it is. So just different things. And some of them I've promoted, some of them I haven't. If I promote, it's usually for one day, and it's because I've earned money off of Facebook, and that's what I turn around and use. But that, as you can see, like I said, there's nothing here but just advertising. So it just depends on how you want to use it. I need to get back on that one. I had 83 people on that one. So, cool. So this is, different things that you want to be able to use, different things that you can go in, and how you can use your social media to your advantage. Okay?
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else? All right, if we have no questions, we're going to call it a day rather early. So that means I got to clean up. Y'all going to make me clean house.
Is that why you want to